Alright guys, so I need to start this video with thanking Jonathan Morrison over at TLD. Because honestly, without him, none of this footage would be possible. Because see, some of us smaller channels don't get access to the phones as early as the big guys. And he was more than willing to let me use any footage that I needed for this video. So for that, I can't thank him enough. And also, if you get the chance, definitely check out Jonathan's channel, and I will put a link below in the description. Today's video is going to be something a little different. I'm not reviewing a product, but I really just kind of want to talk. But we are going to talk about phones. Generally, I don't get excited about phones, and I don't feel like, I need to go from one new phone to the next every year, like upgrade every year. I generally don't feel like there's enough of an upgrade or enough reason to move from one to the other. And this year there were 3 devices, and obviously there are many, many more phones, and even, some that I may mention, but the main 3 that I thought a lot about getting, or at least piqued my interest, was the iPhone XS Max, the new Razer Phone 2, and then the new Google Pixel 3. Now, out of those 3 phones, I did a lot of just researching and a lot of obviously doing what you guys do, watching videos on them, and just trying to figure out if there was any one phone that it was worth the upgrade. Now, currently I use a Pixel 2 XL. So obviously out of the phones, we have the iPhone, which is a completely different ecosystem. And I've used iPhones in the past at different times. So this is not one of those Apple iOS versus Android operating systems. This has nothing to do with that. This is just strictly based off what I thought would be worth upgrading this year, or if it would be worth it. Now, the iPhone XS Max actually is a beautiful design. And then, for anybody that's out there knows iOS and how it functions and how, if you have iPads and MacBooks, and then obviously other people in the family have Apple devices. So it's just much easier to communicate and to keep up with where everybody is. That's kind of important. So there was a lot of reasons, and the camera was a big improvement. So camera is very important to me. Let's go ahead and point that out first. Then we have the Razer Phone. The 120 hertz display, the smooth refresh rate, the RGB glowing on the back, which is huge for me. Obviously, you see I have the lighting behind the monitors. I have the Razer wallpaper, the Razer mouse pad, the Razer keyboard, the Razer mouse. There's a Razer headset. So I have a thing for Razer products, and I was really interested in the first phone, but there was a couple of reviews that just put me off where it just seemed like maybe it wasn't ready. Now, all the reviews on the new Razer phone said this one's ready. Everybody's been impressed. I like the fact that the RGB on the back kind of glows based off your notifications. So a lot of things there that got me interested in that phone. And then we have the Pixel 3. Now I'm going to say the Pixel 3 and not the Pixel 3 XL, and this has absolutely nothing to do with the notch. So the 3 seemed like the perfect size, the perfect layout. It has, the exact same features as the XL. So the Pixel 3 has an incredible camera. Google has software that they're pushing to it that is making low light photography amazing. It's taking selfie, like bigger group shots. I have a bigger family, so to be able to have it set to that mode and get everybody in the shot and get the background, that's a huge thing. The Google design, I'm one of the few that I think it's an absolutely just gorgeous phone. And now that they have the glass back, it was intriguing. The camera improving even more, that's very intriguing, because the camera on the Pixel 2 XL, I've done a lot of things with. And as a photographer, I even went out with my DSLR and took the Pixel 2 XL. And camera-wise, it kept up with it. It took just as good of shots as the DSLR did. Many shots that I was able to use that I could have just used with the DSLR. So to be able to have that tool in your pocket at any given time is so impressive. So which phone out of the 3 did I pick? I had a hard time saying, okay, let's not go with the iPhone XS, because I'm always kind of jumping back into iOS, and then I'll jump back out of it just because I'm used to Android, and especially being able to kind of unlock your phone a little bit, get developers options, and have a little more control. So that's a big plus to me. Again, the Razer phone, to have it match everything else, and to jump into the Razer phone for the first time, this seems like this would be the one to do it with. Now, the one that I placed an order on is the Google Pixel 3, and let me explain why. The camera that was on the 2XL has gotten me a ton of shots that I can use, even thumbnails. Like most of the thumbnails that you've seen have been from the phone. And when you have a family, shots out and about, and especially the family group selfie shots, to get everybody in the shots. And then to have a camera that is so capable in low light, especially with some of the new software that they're pushing towards this camera. This to me was kind of a no-brainer this year. Like I said, I normally don't upgrade, and a lot of people say, well, it's not much of an upgrade from the 2XL to the 3 this year, and I disagree. There's some things that they added, and any little improvement with the camera is a huge plus. It's already one of the best cameras on the market, and now that they bumped it up and made it even better, that to me alone is worth the upgrade. I'm not one to spend a lot of time on my phone. I don't use a lot of apps. I don't utilize a phone in the same way that most people do. So my main interest is having an incredible camera and a very capable phone that's gonna always have the latest updates, with it being a Google device. The one thing I will say is I wish it had a headphone jack, but it seems like everybody is just cutting it and just moving on. So I will rely on Bluetooth headphones, which I have plenty of, so that's not an issue. It's just always nice to have that headphone jack option, but maybe I'm just old school. So guys, out of the phones this year that's coming out or has come out, which phone would you go with and why? I would like to know everybody's reasons below. And let me go ahead and point this out. Nobody is more right than the other, and not one device is so much better than the other. We're past that. So guys, that is my video, just to kind of talk and you know, I want to do a little bit more like this where it's maybe not on a specific device, but maybe the mindset of how I make decisions, and maybe that's interesting to you, who knows. But thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Thank you guys so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always guys, make sure to stay tuned for more.